NOLA Gent here at Casamentos Restaurant. Yeah, one of New Orleans' most unique seafood restaurants. Welcome to NOLA Gent. Let the good times roll. Casamentos Restaurant was established in 1919 by Joe Casamento, who had immigrated from Ustica, Italy. The restaurant's located in a beautiful area of New Orleans, right off the intersection of Magazine Street and Napoleon Avenue. And this is a really beautiful area of the city of New Orleans, and it's a very active commercial hub right here, and it's really popular with both locals and tourists alike. There's many really fantastic businesses here, restaurants and bars. Right here is Miss May's Bar. That is famous or infamous for never closing throughout all of Hurricane Katrina, and only COVID-19 has finally shut it down from its previous 24/7 operations. It's recently opened in more limited hours due to the COVID-19 situation, but it continues. Although it did recently get bought out by a larger company. So Casamentos is noted for being tiled inside and out with over 100-year-old imported Italian tile. Joe Casamento followed the building traditions from his native Italy, as he knew tile surfaces would be easier to clean and would stand the test of time. So much tile was required for the project that 4 different tile companies had to be used to complete the work. Casamentos is located at 4330 Magazine Street, which is about 12 minutes and 4 miles away from the French Quarter. Casamentos is still family owned and operated by Joe Casamento's grandson, C.J. Gerdes, with his wife Linda and their twin daughters Natalie and Nicole. Okay, well, let's head on inside. I've met my friends here, the Commodore and Reno, and we're gonna have a nice feast today. And as you can tell from the decorations, we're here right at the beginning of December, but it is the holiday season in New Orleans already for Christmas. Casamentos is unique in New Orleans for using their own signature bread they call simply pan bread, instead of the much more popular French bread. Casamentos is one of the best restaurants in New Orleans for traditional New Orleans food, and especially for New Orleans seafood, and it has long been the go-to place for raw oysters, and also offers char-grilled oysters. So you see they've got a nice little bar here, and they serve bottled beers in the old school fashion. There's no beers on tap here, and they have really interesting tile work, as you can see. So they did a great job with all the Italian tile, and it has stood the test of time now for over 100 years. And then as you look around here in the first dining room, this is got a lot of interesting stuff on the wall, more great tile work everywhere. And it's a traditional shotgun straight through design here. So you can see it just goes all the way back straight through. And on the walls back here, you see these t-shirts. All sorts of different celebrities that have visited here over the years have signed their names on these shirts. Here's the oyster bar here, so you got your oyster shucker there working. You can look at your different oyster selections here, and you can get any oyster you want here as long as it's a Gulf oyster and usually a Louisiana oyster. You can get them raw or char-grilled or fried. So we're going to be seated in the back dining room today, and you can look forward back towards the entrance door there. Then we'll look around. We can see more of the Christmas decorations that are up in here, along with the beautiful tile work. And it's just very spotlessly clean in here, and Casamentos has always been noted for being one of the cleanest restaurants in the entire area. Here's their kitchen, a very tiny little kitchen, also tiled all up. And we've got our menus, so let's take a look at this. So we have appetizers with seafood gumbo, oyster stew, fried crab claws, fried calamari, raw oysters on the half shell, char-grilled oysters, then salads, and then sandwiches with a fried oyster loaf, fried shrimp loaf, fried trout loaf, fried catfish loaf, soft shell crab loaf, meatball loaf, and half loaf, and a grilled cheese. And then you have your dinners with fried oyster, fried shrimp, fried trout, fried catfish, soft shell crab, fried or grilled chicken tenders, grilled shrimp. Then you can get a large half dinner with a combination of the seafood items, then a seafood platter, and then a traditional spaghetti and meatballs, and then you could get your sides of homemade French fries, RC's, char-grilled fries, and coleslaw. On the other side of the menu, we have dessert, cheesecake, our beverages, our beers, and take note that, sorry, we do not accept credit card, debit cards, and do not do separate checks. It's cash only still. During the pandemic, a lot of places that have been cash only forever finally went to credit cards, but Casamentos is still cash only, so make sure you bring your cash. Well, I'm gonna start with a dozen raw oysters, and these look fantastic.
Really salty. Roast. Yeah.
Just like I'm destroying these oysters, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and destroy that subscribe button, and I really would appreciate it.
Got one left. Put a little horseradish in this one. Ooh, we're gonna get a little burned.
Those oysters are really good, and Casamentos is so connected to oysters that they are only open when oysters are at their peak in the area, and the restaurant is closed during the months of June, July, and August. So a dozen raw oysters isn't nearly enough, so I'm also getting a dozen char-grilled oysters, and these look amazing. Whoa!
Grilled oysters. Look at this. Soak up the goodness.
Go ahead and smash that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up and click the little bell when you subscribe too, so you can keep getting notifications, and I really would appreciate it. The dozen char-grilled oysters went down way too easy, and I could eat a lot more of those. Those were really good, and that bread was really great for soaking up all the juice left after. So the total for my oysters and my beer was $47.52 before tip. And now I'm going on to my main meal, starting out with a gumbo. They have a really nice seafood gumbo here, so let's go ahead and appropriately give it some Tabasco sauce to give it a little extra kick like I like it. And after we get this appropriately seasoned, we'll stir it up a little bit and disperse all of that delicious flavor around. Now let's have a taste and see how it is. It smells fantastic. Ooh, the steam coming off of it is full of flavor. So everything is really delicious here. I'm a big fan of the gumbo here. It's very good stuff. Ooh, yes, look at all that chunky deliciousness of seafood in there. There's a lot of flavor in that. And this is a really good way to start off your meal after some raw oysters and some char-grilled oysters. So it's a good little thing to warm your palate up to what's ahead. All the seafood gumbos and all the gumbos in general in New Orleans are all quite unique in their own way, so you do need to try as many different versions of them as you can if you visit here. So I got the large half and half dinner plate with trout and fried oysters. My friends got the sandwiches. I don't really like the sandwiches here because I like some Creole mustard on my sandwich, and all they have here is mayonnaise and ketchup. So I never get the sandwich unless I bring my own Creole mustard. So now I'm going to eat a fried oyster to complete the trifecta of the raw, the char-grilled, and the fried. And if you love oysters too, I really would appreciate it if you would smash that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up and comment below and let me know which version of the oyster you like best, the fried, the raw, or the char-grilled. And if you don't like oysters, let me know that too. Let me know what other things you like instead. If you totally hate seafood, let me know what other food you like better. But these oysters are fantastic. I'm gonna get a little pickle here to cleanse my palate, to get into some of the other deliciousness we have here, because I do love a good dill pickle. I think it goes very well with all the seafood items that we have on the plate today. Now I've got another little oyster here to enjoy. Such tender, delicious little morsels of flavor. Now we've got to try some of this delicious trout. I think trout is one of the best fish to fry. Trout's such a delicate, flaky white fish, and it comes out really well when you fry it. On their seafood platter, they actually give you a choice of trout or catfish, which used to be quite common. Trout used to be the preferred fish at most places, but now trout's gotten to be a lot more rare on many menus, and they have catfish far more often. I'm not a big fan of catfish. I'll go for the trout every time, and I definitely suggest you do that too in Casamentos. The trout here is excellently done, and you know, I often do feel bad about paying for trout when I can just go out and fish and catch my own, but they do a very good version of fried trout here, so you definitely want to try it out. Now another oyster, because they do give you a generous helping of oysters here, and this is quite a generous fillet of trout as well, so it's a great portion size. Their seafood platter here really is such a large serving of food, you could easily share that with another person, especially if you're going to get an appetizer of oysters, and you can enjoy some gumbo with it and have quite a healthy serving of food for two people. I can eat an entire one by myself, but most people would have leftovers after that. I don't get the seafood platter often because I like to eat my seafood fried when it's still fresh. You can get it decently heated up in the oven again, but it's never quite as good as when it's freshly fried. It just has that really great crispy fried moment right when you get it that just it's hard to get it back to once you've refrigerated it and get it out the next day. But oh, these little tasty morsels are so delicious. I do love some fried oyster paired with some fried trout. It's just quite a wonderful feast indeed. Oh, okay, we polished all of the seafood off other than a few pieces of trout that's going to be mixed into my french fries to finish it off. So the french fries certainly are good. The coleslaw also is pretty darn decent. It's not my preferred vinegar style, but it is good for a coleslaw that's more the creamy style. And I've polished off everything on my plate other than the toast because I'm not eating any more bread after the oysters. But I did get a dessert of cheesecake for y'all today so you can see what it looks like. So it's just a plain basic cheesecake, but it is good. So, what a great meal today. Now, I covered the cost of my oysters, and then Reno and the Commodore paid for my lunch after that. So, thanks so much to them, and thanks so much to everybody at Casamentos for such a fantastic experience. And all of you out there should visit here as soon as you can for the fantastic Casamentos experience.
Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you would just click on the little circle here with a picture of my head in there and subscribe to the NOLA Gent channel, it would really help me a lot. I really appreciate it. Thank you.